All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Retail Happenings. Today, we have someone very close to us, our near and dear, very own design director of Visata Creative, Miss Pamy Wong. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. All right, so today, can you bring us through a little bit of what you're going to talk about?
I guess today we're going to talk about, with the recent lift of the MCO restrictions, how COVID and this MCO will actually change the way we build our future retail outlets. This is actually very predominantly important to us because a lot of retailers are actually very concerned about actually reopening up their business after this MCO is over. And again, but they have no choice. Because if you don't open your outlets, you are actually limiting your ways of conducting your retail businesses. So let's see how we can actually use design as an aspect to help them to adapt to this new normal per se.
Excellent. So let's go through what are the few things that are going to change post COVID actually.
I think the first things first, let's look at the F&B business. Throughout this whole entire MCO that we've been through, food business with retail outlets still run their normal operations, but of course with limited capacity, either in terms of they have to look into limiting staff and definitely limiting their business mode just for only takeaway. So let's look at retail general for F&B. Moving forward, as we are coming up to this MCO, we'll definitely be looking at three modes of running a retail F&B business, which is the takeaway mode. That's one. Second mode is delivery, and the third mode is, of course, what happens when they dine in. Mm-hmm. So let's look at delivery. A lot of F&B players, if they previously were not on delivery platforms such as Grab or Foodpanda, definitely this MCO was something very new to them, because then they will have to scramble to find now a new way to reach out to their customers and of course look into how they can run their businesses for them, just looking at survival mode. So I've seen retail businesses conventionally that was not on this platform quickly adapting to either using WhatsApp businesses or actually having just a simple phone number on their Facebook page or on Google, so that the customers can call in and to reach out to them to place their orders. So yeah, retailers and F&B businesses must find a way today to adapt quicker to what we call omni-channel marketing. I think this word omni-channel marketing has been going on for many years, but I think with a pandemic like this, it really, really hit the retail businesses to truly look into it as one of the business channels on how they can utilize it to reach out to their customers. So that is very much something new to perhaps a lot of new F&B players, and of course those who are already running on platforms such as Grab or Foodpanda are also looking at other avenues to do their own reach out to their own customers, so that they can also sort of circumvent paying this platform the additional margins, which is already very thin at this point in time. So we've seen a lot right now doing either self-promotion to customer who already they have in their database. So this is what we always mean by telling all our retailers, you must have a database on who your customers are. With situations such as this makes it even more important to have that database on hand rather than dependent on platforms to be your source of business channel. Yeah.
So I mean, if let's say right now they are currently promoting to their own other customers, how else can they reach out to newer customers?
I think a lot of them are running promotions, and a lot of it is actually word of mouth marketing. So definitely, of course, advertising on social media platforms, it's a must. say for example Facebook, Instagram. Just today, I don't know whether Google has been tapping me. I mean, I've been thinking about ordering local quiz. I saw an article today on Facebook. So these are the kind of things whereby using social media's algorithm, um, you can actually tap into new customer base. So like this quiz website, which I've never actually encountered for before, I think it's a home mom and pop shop, suddenly it came onto my radar. So looking at that as a consumer, these are actually ways whereby tapping on social media at this point in time will be the only new channels that you can actually reach out on. I also see it a lot during this MCO whereby small mom and pop coffee shop players, and they put their menu, a concise menu, delivery number, and how people can actually order. Very, very simple on WhatsApp message, and started sending out to different people. And from then, different people started sharing the menu. This is also one way. It's not really exactly word of mouth, but yeah, using your existing customer base to help you reach out to new customer base could be something that we can actually look into also. Yes.
That being said, right? Do you think then with F&B businesses should continue post COVID to continue to have seating spaces, or do you think they should be solely 100% like just a front for people to have delivery and pick up only? So sort of like what they call shadow kitchens in the UK.
Moving forward, definitely this is actually just a very temporary measures due to scenarios that we are actually put in. However, judging by the traffic on the road right now, even though we're just into second day of MCO being slightly lifted, that actually shows that there are more and more people are actually getting out of the house. I don't think anyone wants to be cooped up longer in their own homes. Be it whether going out right now, could it be still to run, of course, to run your daily essentials as the most priority, but the new normal of people actually going out and experiencing something when they go out is actually very important. So I do read articles about people going to restaurants, but right now, again, when they go to restaurants, what are the restaurants doing to help give that confidence that it's a safe place to be at to people. Definitely, as the restrictions are still there at this point in time, there are some F&B restaurants owners who I've been talking to are still very hesitant about opening up their restaurants. But definitely, this is just a temporary thing that it cannot be, it's not going to be a long-term thing. So yeah, we definitely have to look into what are the new things that we actually need to put in place in terms of design cues to let people know that right now going out is also safe. So say for example, social distancing when we're out there, instead of the just plain tape that's been stuck on the floor, can we also look into physically printing circle stickers, which is actually visually bigger, that people can stand in the circle itself. So instead of a line, which right now, sometimes I go out there and see it doesn't really work, giving more obvious visual cues will also help. Giving visual cues on how often people disinfect certain surfaces with just maybe a simple sticker that every time F&B operators have actually say people when after they dine out, they clean up the table with disinfectant and they put a small sticker say that this table was disinfected at what time. They can make a sticker with maybe just a small time indication. That gives confidence that the restaurant owners are also taking the effort to making their place a safe place that people can come. So these are the kind of things whereby when people dine in, they can actually look into cutleries. Conventionally, when we go to be it Japanese restaurant, Chinese restaurant, for the sake of the ease of operations, they will leave, say for example, the cutleries in a box on the table itself. These are the kind of things that maybe in terms of they will have to change. So maybe a simple design, maybe a paper design packaging that's with individual cutleries placed inside, and only when the customers are being served the food, then they will bring these cutleries out, so that and it of course definitely have the stickers that say that okay, what time this has been disinfected, or it's been carefully packed by who. So these are the kind of things that we need to look into, stopgate measures to help mitigate, one, of course, mitigate this pandemic, and of course to give confidence that it is safe for people to go out there again. If we look into people coming to the restaurants for takeouts, because right now definitely takeouts is going to happen a lot as people are going back to work. I was just reading the SOP from the Ministry of Health yesterday about going back to work. They are actually encouraging people to actually eat at their work desk, or not communal spaces. So we're also definitely going to see an increase in takeout as people are moving back to work. So restaurants need to look into a designated area for proper pickup. It could be a different point of pickup from maybe the point of entry for customers who want to dine in. And of course, at these areas, how can we make sure that your menu boards are also easily seen, and easily being ordered? Or can it be one of those things where restaurant owners can start printing their menus on a small piece of paper and let people do the takeout? So we are trying to also reduce the amount of time being spent doing their takeout order. So let's look into a faster turnaround time, as spaces are limited, and we are so trying to look into people limiting their time being out there for their essentials.
So what do you think about then about the idea of now currently? I mean, the SOP for restaurants is that they're supposed to be two meters apart. Does it make the dining in business even viable to do? Or yeah, I mean, in that sense, is it even a viable perspective going forward? Because going forward, people will then, once they get used to that kind of big space in between tables, it becomes very, very difficult to run a restaurant.
I'm looking at definitely, I mean, being whether the 2 meter spacing apart right now, it's measures that is a temporary measure. How can a family of 4, I mean, you can't expect a family of 4 to be going out there to sit on a table that's meant for 8 people. Too much space is also feels kind of weird, because the restaurants will feel kind of empty. But looking at that, it is then for the restaurant owners, it is very important to take this opportunity and this time to further engage with your customers who perhaps want to come in for this dining experience. What is the dining experience that they're coming in for? It can start with as basic as what is the greeting to them? How are the table settings being like? I don't think it's necessary for people to move the tables away, but maybe a simple design measure whereby just moving the chairs away, or a simple sticker that placed on the table and say, this is where you can sit, this where you shouldn't be sitting. I guess looking at design and see how we can actually make it an experience for people to come in, rather than say, no, this is not where you sit. Don't be so strict, and not say not strict, but just be a bit more casual about it, be more courteous. Definitely looking at that, we are also hoping that post-COVID, retail businesses in general will also train their staff in terms of customer service. I think this is a long debate that has been going on in the retail businesses in our country. So as people are going out right now, customer service becomes ever more important to make sure that your customers stick with you.
Definitely.
So it's just not about just design, but yeah, it's actually the whole entire experience. Sometimes you can actually maybe play with lighting ambience to just make it brighter, to make it so it gives the people the perception that this is a safe place to be. Make sure that in terms of design, expect whatever things that is easily trapping dust or frequently touched surfaces. Those are the kind of things where maybe you can look at design cues to encourage your customers to not touch it. Those are the kind of aspects that we will be definitely looking to. Yeah. So dining out right now will be a totally different new experience.
Okay, great. With that being said, I think we've come to the end of our time today. So we are going to be having, for our viewers out there today, we're going to be having a more in-depth session with Miss Pamy Wong on the 22nd of May, 2020. It's a Friday at 11 a.m. So we're going to be doing a 1-hour in-depth session where we didn't even get a chance today to touch on what happens to other types of retail businesses like fashion, hardware, electronics. How do those things change? So she'll be doing a more in-depth session on the 22nd of May. So the link to register for the session is in the YouTube channel at the bottom or on the Facebook, wherever you're watching this. So thank you very much, Ms. Pamy. I think it's a good having you here. So we'll see you on the 22nd, and I'm sure the viewers will have more questions for you, as we did not even have time to take questions today. All right, thanks very much, and we look forward to seeing you soon. So thanks, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe our channel to tell us what other videos you want to watch, and more importantly, if you have any retail questions, reach out to Miss Pamy or myself. We'll be more than happy to entertain. Just drop us a line on our Facebook page, drop us a line on even this channel, or wherever you can link to us. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Today's show is made possible by Colorific Print. Colorific Print has been in the printing industry for over 10 years, assisting their clients to break the barrier of minimum order quantities in printing. They understand that not all their clients will need that many prints out. Hence, they have broken away from the norm to make it extremely flexible for their customers to print on demand. Time frame of production is always on high priority, with their motto being prints needed yesterday. They specialize in labels, wall stickers, posters, banner, utilizing a HP latex machinery to boast the credibility of their prints. To find out more about Colorific, visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/colorificprint for more details on how you can start your first printing with them today.